June 1988. Summertime in California. What could be better? I'm still out there protecting our country and reading some books. So let's just get right into it. First book I read in June of 1988 was The Hollow Hills by Mary Stewart. This is the second book in her Arthurian series. And I think this is the one where they sort of establish Arthur as the king. And he pulls together Camelot and everything. But of course there's other stuff going on. And you got Merlin and all the rest of those people. But yeah, Arthurian stuff. The Mary Stewart books are really good. Next, second book of June 1988. I have a copy right here. Not the copy I read back then. It is Swan Song by Robert R. Mccammon. That is a fat book. Love that cover. This is, I hate to say his version of The Stand, but essentially it is, there's some sort of, I don't know if apocalypse is quite the right word, but something huge. And you've got basically good is forming an army, and evil over here is forming an army, and they're going to clash and see who inherits the world, essentially. Fantastic book. Considering the size of it and how many books I read in June, I must have flown through this one. It's another one. It's been so long since I've read these older, or any Robert Mccammon. Definitely going to have to go back and read these at some point. Someday I may have the time. Let's set that right there. Next up, King's Ransom by Ed Mcbain. This is one of the 87th Precinct books. Police procedurals. And as the title might imply, it's about a kidnapping. So our cops, our detectives at the 87th Precinct have to solve a kidnapping. Hope they can find the perps before they end up killing whoever they kidnapped. Let's see. Book number 4. Prince Umbra by Roderick McLeish. Not sure how you pronounce the name. This is kind of a fantasy. Prince Umbra is the name of sort of this never-ending evil person who, can be defeated. But then, that was weird. I don't know if you saw that or if that was just me. There was this weird camera thing. But anyway, we'll see when this video is done, I guess, and I look it over. Or you look it over. Someone can tell me if there's a weird jump in the video. Anyway, so Prince Umbra, this evil, he can be defeated, but then he'll rise again, and a new hero has to rise. And it's one of those sort of eternal hero kind of things. In the synopsis, it mentions, there was Hercules and Arthur, King Arthur, of course, and different heroes. Well, this time it's a little kid named Bentley who discovers he has to be a hero and doesn't have time to grow up because Prince Umbra is back. Don't remember my feelings on this one. Sounds like the kind of thing I would dig, but it's been a long time. The next one, Bio of a Space Tyrant, Volume 5, Statesman by Piers Anthony. This is the final book in the Bio of a Space Tyrant series. And our main character, our narrator, Hope Hubris, has been exiled from Jupiter, and he wants to push out into space, sort of leave the area of the galaxy and explore further out into space. I dug these books back when I read them. There's sort of a twist at the end that I've seen since reading this, but I think this is the first time I ever saw this particular device. And I don't remember if I've mentioned in any of the other videos where I talked about this series. This was, I believe, the first time in reading science fiction that they had their spaceships, I believe they were spheres. and I think spheres or cubes, and basically they talked about, when you're out in space in a vacuum, you don't have to worry about friction. So having aerodynamic spaceships makes no sense. You're going to get more storage space, more whatever you need in a sphere or a cube. And since you don't have to worry about aerodynamics, it's going to travel just as well as any other spaceship. And that was a concept I had not seen before. Since they're building these ships in space, they don't have to worry about atmosphere and that sort of thing. So that was just something interesting that I got out of these books. Next up, we have my slightly dirty copy of Different Seasons by Stephen King. A classic Stephen King short story collection. I forgot to look at this before I started this video. What is in here? Oh, not short story collection. Ay. I should be smacked. This is the Novella Collection. Ay. This has, of course, the classic. Every of the 4 novellas that are in here, 3 of them have been made into movies. Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption, Apt Pupil, The Body, which is Stand By Me. And the only one, as far as I know, has still never been made, is The Breathing Method. All classics. I mean, what is there to say? Rita Hayworth in The Shawshank Redemption. Shawshank Redemption, I believe, is still the #1 rated movie on IMDb. Apt Pupil, I have not seen the movie, but I dug the story. The Body, of course, great story, great movie. The Breathing Method, I really dug that one. I think that's the shortest of these. And it's been a long time since I've read it, and I seem to recall it's a lot of setup for a thing at the end. Kind of, I think that's what they call a Shaggy Dog story, where it's all set up, and then you just have the, for lack of a better term, punchline. It's not a joke, but, obviously it's something happens at the end. I can't believe I forgot that that's what this is. I just lost my mind for a moment there, thinking it's a short story collection. Ay. Next up, another Stephen King. I read 2 in a row. Man, this copy is in bad shape, but it is the copy I want. And this is Misery by Stephen King. I think I might have mentioned that. And I love that it has the fake cover inside for Misery's Return by Paul Sheldon. Oh, look at that. That's supposed to look like Stephen King. Right there. Again, do I need to say anything about this? I mean, this is a classic. Fantastic book. Fantastic movie. There's one very, very famous, I suppose, change between the book and the movie. I slightly prefer the way it is in the book, but it's definitely effective in the movie as well. So Misery. Is there anybody that needs to know it's about an author who gets in a car crash, is rescued by a crazy woman who keeps him prisoner? Do I need to say that? I didn't describe any of the stuff in Different Seasons. If you want to know what they're about, if you don't know, you can ask me in the comments below. Anyway, all right, that's all I've got for books on hand. We got 3 more to go. The Last Enchantment by Mary Stewart. This is the 3rd book in her Arthurian series, and this is the one where Arthur is tricked by his half-sister into sleeping with her. For me, that's the big point of this part of the story. That's the driving force. Because then we get into, I believe it's the last one in the series, The Wicked Day, Mary Stewart. And this is when Mordred, the offspring of Arthur and his half-sister, has grown And we have the final battle between Arthur and Mordred and the fate of Camelot. Good stuff. And then finally, the last book I read in June of 1988 is Give the Boys a Great Big Hand by Ed Mcbain. It's another 87th Precinct book. In this one, there's a killer that's all dressed in black, and all he leaves, the only evidence of a crime or crime scene, is the hand of his victim. Fingerprints are gone, and the detectives have to solve this serial crime, stop this serial killer. Always good books, the 87th Precinct. All right, that's it. That's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books in June of 1988, and one of them was this fat boy. Crazy. I don't know how the hell I did that and kept our country safe at the same time. Anyway, that's all I've got this time. So if you do have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want to follow me on social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram is EricSmith5757. It's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got for you, so until next time, read more books.